Hello, Tracy here from The Passionate Spinner. Today I come to you with a tutorial, and it is about making these little knitted bookmarks that I have here. They look like this. They're very easy to make. They're a perfect beginner project. All you need is either cardboard or a blank for a bookmark. They look like this, so the ones that I have. And some leftover fingering weight yarn and a set of DPNs. So I am not going to show you how to knit it. What we are going to knit is a tube, right? A tube in stockinette stitch. So far, so simple. Now I have those blanks, so I need to know how big this tube needs to be. I measured my blank. It is 5 centimeters wide and 15 centimeters long. That equals 2 inches wide, 6 inches long. And I know that when I knit socks, I have about 9 stitches per inch. So I did a bit of math. And because it is like 2 inches wide, I have to cover 4 inches in the circumference, which makes for 36 stitches. And then I took off 2 stitches and cast on 34 just to make it a tiny bit snugger. So I cast on, like I said, 34 stitches and knit a tube exactly the same length as my blank is. Now we're going to weigh this so you know how much yarn you will need, just in case you're using tiny leftovers. So this weighs 7 grams. That's honestly a lot more than I thought. Let's do it again, just to be on the safe side. It is 7 grams. So you're going to need 7 grams, or, 10 maybe, just to be completely on the safe side and have enough. So let's get rid of a few things. Okay, now let's say you have knitted a tube and you're using a blank like I do. The next step is pretty simple. You're going to put the blank inside your tube, and because you did 2 stitches less, it's a bit snug to put on. But in the end, it will not slide around as much because that is really weird and uncomfortable. And once it is in, we will sew it shut at the bottom and at the top with a mattress stitch, and then attach a ribbon. So these blanks have those holes here, and you can easily pull a ribbon through there, like I did here. But now, if you do not have a blank bookmark, because why would you? You can just use cardboard. So this was from a box of ice cream. And the best thing about this is you do not need to do any math. You will just cast on anything between, let's say, 32 and 40 stitches, because otherwise it gets really big. And once you're done, you will just put your tube, however long you made it, on top of your cardboard, draw around, and cut it out and create your own bookmark that way. I would then also use a hole punch to create a hole where you can put the ribbon in later, because when you have a hole there, it makes your life a lot easier because you do not have to pull the needle through a quite substantial bit of cardboard, So now this is basically the same thing. You can round your edges if you want, but you do not have to. This is just a whatever, do whatever you want kind of thing, So let's do it here. Now I forgot to bring my hole punch, of course, because, okay. So it would look like this, and I would punch a hole through the air. But I'm not going to use this cardboard. I'm going to use my blank bookmarks because that's why I have them. If I lay it out like this, and I use my blank bookmark and put it on top, you can see that this is the same size as it now is with this. So we will need a needle. I like using blunt tip needles for sewing things together because I am not able to hurt myself. So, okay, needles away. And now I need to decide, when I look at my knitted strip, which part I want to be at the top and what I want at the bottom. And I honestly think that my bind off edge is better suited for the bottom of the bookmark. when I look at it. I just kind of like it better this way around. So put my blank in. I find it easier to seam around or seam together with the blank inserted. But you do what you find easier, you know? Now, for mattress stitch seaming, you will seam from your right side, which makes this the perfect project. So here's my cord coming from. So the first stitch on the opposite side would be this one here. So I pick up one stitch on the top part, and then I come back down to the bottom and pick up one stitch. Go back to the top, make sure to pick up the next stitch, and go back to the bottom, pick up the next stitch there. The first few stitches will look a bit awkward until it starts to pull together, and then you will see that it's going to be an easy seam. Just always go one from this side and one from the other side. Just pick up the whole stitch, both legs of it. Now, can you see how the seam is forming? It is a very easy project to do. So I am going to finish seaming this here, and I will also seam up this side because this hole is so big that I can actually, when it is seamed, I can still feel where the hole is, or you can also just hold it against a light source and you will see clearly through. So I'm going to finish seaming off camera, and then we will finish it with the ribbon. So before seaming the rest off camera, I decided to do a close-up so you can better see what I'm doing. I have my thread coming from the top, so I need to go to the bottom now, and I need to pick up the next stitch. And that would be this one here. This is the next stitch. And I'm pulling my yarn through, and it looks like this. And then I go to the top, I find my next stitch, pick it up, pull my yarn through. You can see this is the yarn, and as soon as I pull on it, this will close up. So let's do this one more time. Come to the bottom, pick up the next stitch. You can see the next stitch because it's not folding. It is still standing up here. Pick it up, pull through, and go to the opposite side. Pick up the next stitch like this and pull through. And I will do this all the way through, and then I will show you later how to weave in the ends. I have now finished seaming both sides, so this is what side 1 looks like, and this is side 2. I have my string now still attached, of course. So what I will do is I will poke in here and then shove it at the top. Now, the important bit is when you shove it and it glides super easy, like here, you are not in the actual seam. So I think it will be secure if you go through here at the top and you feel this resistance of these stitches that build the seam. Go through a third or so, pull through, and then I do a tiny little back stitch, and you will not be able to see this in the end. So I'll just go back here. Because when you do a back stitch, that is so hard for the thread to come undone. And I will do this one more time, and that's it. That is finished now. The seaming around is done. So I'm gonna cut my thread off, and just, you know, to make this tiny end go away, I'll just pull and it's gone. So this is it so far. Now we need to attach the ribbon, and for ribbon I use just this little cord here. I go with about that much. What's this? Like 35 centimeters. Let's measure. Let's measure to make it clear. The instructions clear. Okay. It is 35 centimeters. Okay, well done. So that's like 14 inches, okay? So now I need a really big needle to poke through because this cord is really thick and heavy. So I need my biggest needle. I'm gonna go for this one here. And I am going to fold this in half now. And I will put the fold through my needle. I'm gonna try. This is a bit tricky because this is so thick. Oh, come on. You've done this before. I've done it like 3 times before, so it is working in theory. I cannot get it through. Now, let's try again. Okay. Why is this happening? Okay. I did it. Now, I have pulled it through enough to be able to pull this thing through my hole. Now, if I feel around, it is here, because here the needle just easily goes through. And then I pull it through and get rid of the needle. And then open it up, pull my ends through like this. And then, important, I make a knot at the other end because this cord that I'm using will just fray like crazy otherwise. And I'm just pulling it very tight. And that is it. Bookmark finished. I'm using this self-patterning yarn because I have it. You know, I knit a lot of socks and this is just leftovers, but I think it would look super pretty if you used a solid color and then maybe did some embroidery on it. You could do flowers, a Christmas tree, whatever, right? But yeah, this is just a little idea for a small gift or for yourself. You could add this on if you gift someone a book. You can add this as a little handmade extra. And I just think that they are really pretty and very useful. So I hope this tutorial helps you, and I will see you in my next video.